Hi. In this video, I want to discuss the different parts of the GI tract or alimentary tract. Now let's start out in the mouth. Now the food in our mouth is moisturized by the addition of saliva produced by the salivary glands. And the saliva is mixed with the food via chewing motions and via movements of the tongue. Now what is saliva? Now saliva is 99% water, with the remainder consisting of salts, mucus, enzymes, mainly amylase, and antibacterial compounds. Now, saliva is produced by salivary glands located underneath the tongue, beneath the floor of the mouth, and around the ears. Now, production of saliva is triggered by the presence of food in the mouth, but it can also be stimulated by just smelling food or thinking about food. Its primary role is to lubricate the food, to allow easy passage through the esophagus. Moreover, saliva initiates the chemical digestion of food. It has antimicrobial functions and it's important for tasting. Now, what happens after you swallow? Now, after swallowing, food enters the esophagus. Now, the esophagus is a hollow tube that transports the food bolus from the mouth to the stomach. And the esophagus is surrounded at the top by an upper sphincter, which is a muscular ring that closes the esophagus when no food is being swallowed. And at the bottom, the esophagus is bordered by a lower sphincter, which prevents reflux of food from the stomach. Now, swallowing causes both sphincters to relax, allowing the passage of food from mouth to stomach. And when food is swallowed, a leaf-shaped flap called the epiglottis covers the voice box or larynx, thereby preventing food from entering the windpipe or trachea. Now, the walls of the esophagus consist of muscles that propel the food downward via a motion that we call peristalsis. Now, after passage through the esophagus, the food enters the stomach. And the stomach is a hollow bag with a very muscular wall that is situated between the esophagus and the duodenum. In adult humans, the volume of an empty stomach is about 50 milliliters or 2 cups, which can expand to 1 liter or beyond after a copious meal. Now, the main role of the stomach is in protein digestion, and the wall of the stomach produces hydrochloric acid that accounts for a unique feature of the interior of the stomach, which is its high acidity. Now, food usually remains in the stomach anywhere from several minutes to a few hours. Now, the stomach is bordered by 2 gatekeepers that keep the food inside the stomach, the esophageal sphincter and the pyloric sphincter. Now, food in the stomach is gradually released into the small intestine, and the small intestine can be separated into 3 continuous parts. The upper part is called the duodenum, and it's a hollow tube of about 30 centimeters long that connects the stomach to the jejunum. And the digestive juices from the pancreas and the bile produced in the liver enter the alimentary tract at the level of the duodenum. Now, the digestive juices entering the duodenum contain a lot of bicarbonate that serves to neutralize the acid food bolus entering from the stomach to allow food digestion to continue. Now, besides being the site of food digestion, the duodenum also controls the rate of emptying of the stomach by producing the hormone secretin and cholecystokinin, which is triggered by food entering the duodenum. Secretin and cholecystokinin have a variety of other actions, including stimulating the pancreas to release bicarbonate and digestive enzymes. The jejunum is the second and middle section of the small intestine. It's located in between the duodenum and the ileum, and it's the major site of nutrient digestion to generate the basic chemical components that the body can absorb. Now, the ileum is the last portion of the small intestine where most of nutrient absorption takes place. Now, after passing through the ileum, the intestinal content moves into the colon or large intestine. And the main function of the colon is to absorb water from the remaining indigestible food matter, and it serves also as a vehicle for the body to rid itself of fecal waste material. Now, the colon is characterized by the presence of large numbers of bacteria, referred to as the gut microbiota, and they carry out the fermentation of dietary fiber. The bacterial composition of the gut microbiota is highly dependent on the composition of the diet. Now, the fecal matter collects into the descending colon and into the rectum, and it's released from the body when you have a bowel movement.